My name is Beth French, and I am so privileged to be involved in the Scilly Swim Challenge, which came about because I happened to become the first person to make it to swim from Cornwall to the Isles of Scilly back in 2014. So yes, that was my involvement, and it happened to be the first year that the Scilly Swim Challenge was being created, and they heard about me and wondered what on earth this crazy person was doing. And I hadn't seen the Isles of Scilly at all because I landed at 5 o'clock in the morning when it was still very dimpsy daylight and very, very misty. So all I saw was a glooming bit of rock.
That's an extraordinary swim to do. May I ask, how long did it take?
It took me 17 hours and 28 minutes without a wetsuit. Isles of Scilly are a really rarefied area of Britain. I mean, you have some of the similar parts in the very, very northern Isles of Scotland. But what you get in the Isles of Scilly, you have beautiful, beautiful weather. The water is like the Caribbean. I mean, it really does often look like you're in the Caribbean. It is gin clear. It's so beautiful, and it's such a strange thing that you can swim 800 meters and get to another island. So the Scilly Swim Challenge is such a beautiful thing to do because you really are swimming mini channels, but it's something that everybody could access. So yeah, the Isles of Scilly is just stunning. The Scilly Swim Challenge is genuinely the only mass start swim that I have done and that I do. I swim for the freedom and for the experience of being out in the wilds. And the Scilly Swim Challenge, the thing that drew it to me the most was it's set on the premise that it's not a competition. Like, there really is no competition. It is genuinely seeing if we can get all of the people around as much of the swims as they possibly can. So it's quite a unique event in that sense, because even the elite swimmers, they have to swim at a pace to stay in a pod that is comfortable for them, and you do get podded with your swim speeds, but it is an adventure, and that is it. It's purely an adventure. So you get swimmers who, you might get a couple, one who swims regularly and is quite a speedy swimmer. They may go in, say, the red or the orange pod. Then you would have their partner who's along for the ride, who wants to see what this is all about, who may not have had a lot of outdoor swimming experience, but because of the way they've organized it, because of the safety support that they have, you can have a go. You can experience what it's like to swim a mini channel in safety. It's such a beautiful thing to do. And then you walk across the islands all together, chit-chatting, having cake and cups of tea, and who doesn't love that?
That sounds fantastic. And as you say, you seem to be describing it's much more of an event itself that's open to all, and the encouragement for everyone to complete each section of the inter-island swims.
Yes, I mean, it really is. You swim as much as you feel you can. And if some of the pods get overstretched, the safety boats will come back and just lift you forward. So it's not like if you don't swim at all, you've failed. Some of the slower swimmers or some of the less experienced swimmers, the longest stretch is a 5-kilometer swim, which you are, if you look to your right, facing out into the Atlantic, which can feel quite daunting. You don't have to swim it all. You really do get supported through challenging yourself as much as you feel able to do. So you swim as much as you can and as much as you want to do. There's no pressure. You don't not get your finishing certificate if you decide, actually, I'm too tired to do the last one. That's not a problem. And oftentimes, people will go back and do it in different stages, and that's fine too. One of the main differences on the mainland of the UK, in September, water temperatures are 18 to 20 degrees often right on the coast. In the Isles of Scilly, it will be 12 to 16 degrees, depending on our summer. So that's the first thing, is to not be put off by the cold water temperature, but get used to it. Do not be afraid of wearing a wetsuit if you want to. You can wear a wetsuit for some of the longer legs and not wear a wetsuit for some of the shorter legs. There's no pride involved in taking a wetsuit. You can use fins, you can use paddles, you can use a snorkel if you like, because it's beautiful down there. The other thing that's really, really key is, although the longest swim, say, is 5 kilometers, which for a lot of distance swimmers, that's fine, getting in and out of the water is very, very different. So swimming for 1.5 kilometers then walking for a kilometre, then getting back in the water is far more tiring and taxing than swimming just 3 kilometres without a break.
Yeah.
So practice getting in and out of the water and going for walks in between time. It is very different, but beautiful and fun.